folks, welcome to Myers Metal Detectors, located in sunny Tampa, Florida, where we sell nothing but fun and adventures, treasure hunting gear, and anything you can imagine for metal detecting. Give us a call, 813-237-1939. Happy hunting and dig deeper.
Live from sunny Florida, it's Treasure Talk.
And welcome, friends.
Welcome, everybody.
Welcome to another exciting edition of Treasure Talk.
Yes, it is indeed. It's a little warmer up here today, Phil. How was your weather down there?
Oh, it was almost 70 today. I think it was 68.
Well, I was only about 4 degrees behind you. It warmed up pretty good today.
Yes, and I think tomorrow is going to be even warmer. I think the end of the week it's going up to 80. So the beach hunters will be back at it for sure.
That's what I say. I'm leaving for the beach Wednesday, so Treasure Tales will be coming to you from Daytona Beach.
Daytona Beach.
So the weekend's supposed to be cool, but I think Thursday and Friday is supposed to be almost 80. So
yes, world famous Daytona Beach. That's going to be nice for you.
I hope so. I'll be down there trying to dig me some gold.
Absolutely, and hopefully the nor'easters have gone through, have torn the beach up a little bit. You'll have a chance to find some cool stuff.
Well, we hope so, but I'm not going to hold my breath, you know.
Well, if you get out and have fun, hey, that sometimes is the best treasure, right?
Yep, I'll be there with our two brothers from other mothers.
Yeah, good old Mumbles man and John.
Yep.
Awesome.
That'll be the one.
I guess we better get started. So let me run through and get us going here. Today's show, of course, is brought to you by your friends at Myers Metal Detectors, where we sell fun and adventure. And the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by the Treasure Talk guests and members belong solely to the guests and members and not necessarily to Phil Myers, Jocelyn Myers, Myers Metal Detectors, or Jeff Monin. And of course, the purpose of Treasure Talk is to promote the hobby of treasure hunting and metal detecting and to educate our members in a fun, informative manner. And that's what we're going to do today, isn't it, Jeff?
It certainly is. And, you know, I have to take a couple seconds tonight to show we got a really cool mail call today. Some of our people have sent us some stuff, and I know you stock some of this stuff, but
Dan's lanyards, sure.
Dan's lanyards. He's part of our giveaway tonight. Part of the giveaway he's donated is a bottle of pure Vermont maple syrup and a Dan's lanyard keychain. But
nice.
he's doing this other thing, and I'm going to send one down to you because he wanted you to have some too. And these are like little dog tags that he has imprinted. So, you know, for all the people out there that are, you know, have YouTube channels or doing giveaways and stuff like that, you can have these imprinted with your YouTube channel on it, and they'd be great giveaways or, you know, whatever. And of course, he sent me a blue Dan's lanyard for the Blue Spade Society.
Yeah, those lanyards are really nice. It's a heavy duty material, and I don't think they'll ever fail. But
yeah, they are really nice.
I want the maple syrup, though.
Well, I tell you what, I bet you if you ask real nice, Dad would probably send you a jug.
Yeah, because I like maple syrup. And Jocelyn knows that on my pancakes, I only want real maple syrup.
Well, now you're going to be eating more. You know, you're not on lockdown, so you can't have all the pancakes, you know.
All righty. And what was the other thing that you had on mail call?
That was it. We got the other day from JPB Hobbies, Janine Ballard Patterson. She is really talented, and also from Cricket Conroy, Mermaid Treasure Hunter. We've been getting all kinds of goodies.
Well, cool. Well,
these are, I'm going to send these to you as well. I don't know if folks can see those. These are like little charms. I think you can wear them as a necklace. Jocelyn could possibly wear them as earrings that Janine makes. They're like little coils.
Yeah, that's a Garrett Ace coil. That's probably a 9 by 12. It looks exactly
It
like
looks like it, yeah. So she
Garrett
is
Ace
just
coil.
really, really talented.
Yeah,
And
that's cool.
she
Really?
sent those for you, and she sent some for me. And I only wear them when when I'm wearing the red pumps,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it
And then
matches.
some earrings from Cricket.
Yeah, you gotta be color coordinated.
That's right.
All
Always.
righty. So I guess we're ready to get started with our guest tonight, huh?
We are indeed.
Awesome.
So, everybody, this is kind of an update show for you. All of you Knox swingers out there have gotten the coils from Coil-Tek from Phil. We're going to talk Coil-Tek coils tonight, the updates on those, what's happening, anything else the new that's happening in the world of Coil-Tek. So I think we just need to go ahead and bring on our guest for tonight, don't we, Phil?
Absolutely. Let's bring Trevor on.
And this is Trevor Ferrarasso from Coil-Tek, and he's down in Australia, where I believe it's summertime down there. So let's bring on Trevor.
Hey everyone.
Hi,
How you
Trevor.
doing, Jeff, Phil? Thanks for having me on.
You
Absolutely.
are
So,
very, very welcome.
so tell us where exactly in Australia you are and the temperature today.
Yeah, sure. So we are in Adelaide, South Australia. So we're Central Australia. We're pretty much on the coast where we are. And today we're actually got quite nice weather. It's around about the 80, 81 Fahrenheit or 25 or so degrees Celsius. Yesterday we had a bit of a belter at 90, 96, 97 Fahrenheit, 35, 36 degrees. Last week we had the high 90s into the hundreds, but really high humidity as well. And us Adelaideans, we don't get a lot of humidity here. So when it hits us, we're all melting on the pavement with the humidity. We enjoy dry heat a lot better. The humidity gets to us a bit. So we're all a bit soft when it comes to humidity. A bit like, well, I guess in Florida you have a lot of humidity as well. And
Yeah, we get the humidity, but when we get the high humidity, it's going to rain. Does it rain there like that?
no, not really. We had about 4 days of just high humidity and blue skies. It was quite horrible. And then we did get some storms in the end, which some of the outback regions through South Australia got the once in 100-year floods because of these massive rainstorms that came through. So really good to see a lot of water in that region because obviously it's very dry, but unfortunately it did create a lot of flooding and people are stranded in some locations because of the flood waters. So there's a fair bit of craziness gone in the last 2 weeks here. But today we've got a beautiful day, around about 25 degrees Celsius. So that's perfect for everyone, I think. No humidity, good day to build coils and go out swinging coils. So
Absolutely. Now, you were talking about the flooding areas. Is that also areas where they produce gold nuggets or not?
Not in those areas. It's the gold would be very deep in that area. It's quite loamy on top. So, but I'm sure there's some regions that would have, had a bit of soil movement because when you see these floods, you think about how much those rivers move, the under soil moves, the rocks built around, everything's moving there. So, they're definitely, can expose new areas if it's gone through some of those gold regions in SA. A little bit further north in SA, there's a lot of gold regions. So if they copped a fair bit of flooding through their areas, it'd be good. But unfortunately, a lot of the areas up north of South Australia, it's difficult to get land access to because it's all pastoral leases and owned by different people that don't want you to detect on there because of their sheep and farmland.
Right. Yeah, we're always looking for, things like this to happen, especially the east coast of Florida. We're looking for some weather patterns that move a lot of sand, or even in my area, they don't get that in the Gulf. But if it does move some sand, it creates opportunities for metal detecting. So that's why I was curious about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
All righty. So I guess we'll get started talking about the coils right now. And I had told you earlier, which of course the folks haven't heard about it, but I do have the Coil-Tek 14 by 9 in stock and the 15 in stock also. Just a little bit of inventory right now. But you guys are trying to make the 10 by 5s. But of course,
Yes.
you're waiting for parts from Mine Lab then.
Yeah, so we know the demand's still there, which is fantastic. The coils have been going really well, but due to some supply issues and also some COVID-related issues with some staff members away, but the biggest one has been supply issues. We've been struggling for supply since about early December. So unfortunately, we haven't really built any Nox coils since that time, because we can get them to a point, as I was telling you off air, we can make these coils to a point, but then they've got to stop because they're waiting for a cable or a PCB or something like that. So we've got plenty in preparation at the moment, but just can't take them any further. So unfortunately, we've been a little bit behind on supply because of those part issues. Once they land, then we should be able to pick up the pace a little bit more because we're a little bit in front with some preparation. So probably looking 10 by 5s into the US sometime in March, mid to late March, I would say. So we are getting word that parts are due to land in our shelves shortly. And then it's just a matter of making sure we keep COVID away from everyone so they can just concentrate on work. It's good at Coil-Tek's. We're quite a small team, and it's only external factors that can sort of influence us. Once we're all here, if we could all sleep here and work here and just not go anywhere, we'd be COVID free. But
yeah,
obviously we
Well, I
can't
think,
enslave our
here's the
employees too
thing.
much.
If you don't have the 10 by 5, they better just buy a 14 by 9 or a 15 to hold them over.
Well, they still have different opportunities with those coils. The 15-inch and 14 by 9 have been finding some excellent treasure. So, it's still a different coil in different ground, which means you have different opportunities and different targets that you're going to see. So, definitely, if you've got some of those, Jeff, they're good ones for people to pick up and get out and hunt with first.
Yeah, I would think so. To get
Well, we've got some
great
really
coil.
good. I interviewed.
Fill their arsenal out.
What's that? Sorry, Jeff.
Fill their arsenal out so they have. Now's the time. While you're waiting on one, we can't get it, unfortunately, but it's coming. So now get the 14 by 9 or the 15, and you've got your complete arsenal. And then when
That's
the
right.
10 by 5 comes in, you go back to areas you've hunted with the other ones, and whether it's trashy, and bing, bang, boom. There you go. You clean it out there.
Correct. We've done some good tech talk videos on our YouTube channel with people around the world that talk about the different sizes and why not one coil is going to suit every situation. So if you can get a 14 by 9 and a 15 or while you're waiting for a 10 by 5, you'll find that you'll maximize your returns for sure.
So you guys got some really good, excuse me, Phil, you got some really good people that are testing and promoting your coils. I think you've got Relic Dirty Hands is with the Coil-Tek, I believe. And
Laurie,
they're fantastic. And Leighton Harrington. Now he's he's been a guest on the show, and he finds a tremendous amount with the Coil-Tek Nox series coils.
Yep, definitely. He's been using them, as one of his go-to coils for many years, even with the CTX when he was, using that a lot. So he understands, what the coils can do differently in his different areas. So it's just like having a toolbox in your shed ready for, taking apart your car. You can't just have one tool to take it all apart. You've got to have different tools to do the right job. So that's essentially what you're trying to do with your detector as well, is, look at a park, look at a beach, look at somewhere, and you just go, right, I think this coil is going to be good today. And you give it a shot. And if that doesn't work out, you can change your coil, go back over that area, and still have some opportunity out there. So different coils are definitely good to have.
Absolutely. I always use my small coil first. If I'm land hunting, I'll use the small coil first, which I've had the opportunity to use the 10 by 5. because I finally got one. Decided on the very last run, I got some about a month ago. I decided I'm going to keep one for
Keep
myself.
one back. Good idea. Good idea.
So I've been waiting a long time, so I kept one, and I really love it. That it feels lighter. Is that coil actually lighter than the stock coil?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So it feels a little lighter, and that's what I was telling Jeff with the Blue Spade Society. That would really help people who don't want to swing, 11-inch coil all day.
Yeah.
That smaller coil will work for them on the beach. I have customers who are older and use that one for beach hunting. And I
Yep.
always tell people, hey, use the biggest coil you can on the beach. But if you're 85 years old and you just want to go out and have a good time and not get overexert yourself,
Of course.
that
Of
coil
course.
is excellent for that. And that brings me with one of the questions I have here from that was, I guess, on Facebook from Tom Becker. And he says, I
Hey,
have
Tom.
bad shoulders, 4 repairs and a full replacement. And I have the Equinox 6 and 11-inch coil. How do you feel the Coil-Tek 10x5 compares weight-wise to the 6-inch for me to swing? I want more coverage than the 6 with less weight than the 11.
Yeah, so he'll have a perfect option there if he wants those two features. It will be a little bit heavier than the 6 because just there's nothing we can get around the fact that as you go bigger, you're going to have more material in there of epoxy, of wire, of plastic. So we can't avoid, the weight increasing with size. But it is definitely lighter than the 11. It's not that far off the weight of the 6-inch, and you'll get exactly what you need, just some more coverage. So when you've got the 6-inch on, with big open areas, you can feel like you've really got to swing it hard and fast. And if you're walking too fast too, you're zigzagging across the ground and you might be missing areas. So, using the 10x5 means you can just get that overlap and coverage a little bit better. So, yeah, I would think that would be an ace coil for what he needs to do. Can appreciate that it can be really difficult for people if they've had shoulder reconstructions, or as you get a bit older, just, we can't lift the same things for as long as we can. So using bungee cords or those sort of things can help as well. Just take that weight off so you're not getting as fatigued as quickly. And that means you can just stay out there for a bit longer and hopefully get a little bit more treasure. So be a great option for Tom.
Both you guys have used it. I have not had the opportunity to use the 10x5 yet, but isn't it really balanced very well, Phil?
Oh, I think it is. I'm using it on the Anderson shaft, but it's still, to me, it's the perfect size and weight. It works perfect on my shaft, but I know it would work on the stock shaft too. It covers a little more than the 6-inch, because I like the 6-inch coil too, but I feel like I'm just moving that coil so back and forth so fast. I'm not really enjoying it as much as I do with that 10x5. And you already said you're probably going to send some out the end of March.
Yeah. So we'll definitely be getting concentrating on the 10x5 because that is the most popular globally at the moment. So we'll definitely be concentrating on manufacturing those. We'll build probably 5 of those, and then to 2 of the 15-inch and maybe 1 of the 14x9. The 14x9 has gone very well out in the field. It doesn't have that sort of popularity like the 10x5 because it is a bit heavier. So it's going to be a bit more for specific use and people that are not afraid to swing a little bit more of a robust, heavier coil. Laurie, like you're saying, the Dirty Hands, they really love the 14x9. They've been using that quite a bit. Same with Leighton. It is proving itself out there to do some great opportunity. With the right targets, it'll be definitely deeper than the standard 11-inch, but you'll have a bit more maneuverability and sensitivity with it. So, it depends on what the person wants. A lot of people default to a smaller coil because they want that lightness.
Right. Now, we got a question from YouTube from Ray Jones. He wants to know what makes Coil-Tek, he says better than MindLab coils, but let's say different than the
Different.
MindLab coils.
Yeah. So, yeah, we don't claim to be better than the MindLab coils because we do something different. So exactly like you said, you know, we don't make the same size as MindLab because they're already made an 11-inch and 15 by 12. It would be pointless for us to do it because those coils are operating perfectly well. Same with the 6-inch. So we look to be a little bit different and make something with a little bit more, you know, ability in a different size. So we've actually discontinued coils in the past that have competed with the MindLab brand, like 10 by 5 double Ds, for instance, for the gold series back in the day. We discontinued that. We used to make it, but we just figured that we wanted to just be that little bit different, have a point of difference for the coils. We only make the coils here. We don't make the full detector. So our engineers and technicians and production staff just concentrate on how well we can make that coil. So each one of them is human made. We do have some automated things here, but mainly for epoxy pouring and some spray for shielding and things. But everything else is calibrated and nulled with a human involved. And they have very tight tolerances that we put on them here to make sure that we get the null points correct. The coils are made at a high quality, and we really concentrate on that side of things. Not that MindLab don't, but we're just concentrating on the coil only, where the larger companies that make the whole detector have to concentrate on the shafts, the detectors, the control box, the handles, everything. So they still have teams doing individual things, but I feel that we have a little bit more ability to concentrate just on the coil itself. So, you know, that will give a point of difference there.
Absolutely. And I got a comment here from my friend Rick Tumbleson, and he's a MindLab Equinox user, and he said I'm hooked on the Aussie Gold Hunters.
Oh yeah, yep.
And makes me want to go to Australia and give it a go. I want to find a ripper.
You know, you want to find a ripper. They're good on him.
So tell us real quick what a ripper is.
Oh, ripper's just something that's fantastic. So if you get a nice big nugget, then that would be a ripper. You know, over in Australia, we say ripper, mate. You know, because that means everything's really good, and it probably stems from the surfies because they're ripping the
waves,
wave up and stuff like that, and that was really cool. So you know, yeah, if you find a ripper, that's a really good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So differences on the coil. Now, have you had any coil ear issues?
No. So we had when they first came out, you know, obviously that was a bit of a hotspot talking point, is making sure that the coil is strong and robust enough. And so far, there's some wood here that my table's wood, but so far we've had I think only one break, which was a manufacturing issue by the looks of things, because there was some hairline cracks, and we just replaced that, no problems. So 1 10 by 5 coil ear issue, 0 issues for 14 by 9s and 15s. The only issue we had was some shipping issues where DHL dropped the box and broke wings off and stuff like that, but no customer issues. I do reiterate to people, though, to not use their shafts as pole vaults or getting up sticks, you know, with our elderly friends that sort of, you know, need to kneel down and then get back up. Try not to use your shaft and sort of, you know, move it and pull yourself up on it, because that sideways motion, you've got the wings like this and the shaft in there, that sideways motion of the shaft in those wings is going to put a lot of extra pressure. So they're designed to take bumps and knocks and a little bit of flexing and things like that. But when you put a lot of weight and pressure on the sideways motion, you can damage the shaft, you can damage the coil, you know. So yeah, try and you know, treat them with a bit of care, but they are quite robust. So they've been going very well, actually. We're very impressed with how they've been working out there, and happy with the robustness of the wings.
Yeah,
That's why you use that Excalibur shovel to help you get up,
I
right, Phil?
was just going to say that, Jeff. If they use their shovel, and
Yeah,
we sell a manufacturer on the show here, Excalibur, and
yep,
those
I've
are real
seen it.
nice to push yourself up with. The
Yep.
shovel, not the detector and coil.
Yeah,
And
shovels, picks, anything like that to help you get up, or the wife or your friend, whatever, you know.
Well,
yeah,
we just saw that Mike Mayo just made the comment. He says he has his wife to help him up. Well, I think it's usually the other way around because Trish out hunts him all the time. So she's the one down there digging the targets, and Mike's standing there going, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. Let me help you up.
yeah,
Good on you.
I was asking because the Equinox has had some coil area issues, and
Yeah,
there's a lot of products made to uh, uh, they're digitally printed plastic products made to make their coil ears fatter.
yes.
And I knew the answer. I knew you didn't have hardly any of them that broke
Mm.
because I can see on the manufacturer that's a different style of coil ear. So I knew you weren't going to have any problems with that. So
Yeah,
that is
we
another,
got our engineer to just put a couple of little returns on the wings, so they're
yeah,
not just flat. There's actually some returns and a little bit of a taper there to sort of thicken that base up and give it some strength.
right.
I've seen a lot of those 3D printed things, and you don't really need them for our coils. If you want to put them on, no problems, but I would think that'd be fine.
Yeah, the way they are. So how many thousands of these coils have you made?
All up, we are sitting at about 5,600 all told. We're nearly at 2,800, 2,800 for the 10 by 5s, just over 2,000 on the 15 inch, and still just under the 1,000 mark for the 14 by 9s. So the 10 by 5s, yeah, they just took off sort of about 4 months into it. As we were going, it was just all 10 by 5s we were making, really. And it's been, a little bit strange in the sense that our planning was that the 15-inch coil would be great for the US, the 10 by 5 would be great for the UK. So when we first started off, the orders were like that, and which meant, a lot of 15s came into the US and 10 by 5s went to the UK. And that's where we had a few issues with people saying, how come we've got no 10 by 5s in the US and the UK had some, and things like that, trying to make sure that people were, getting fed as much as we could to the regions. And then it sort of flipped around that, pretty much the 10 by 5s are the only things the US want now, and Australia as well. And the UK is still loving the 15-inch, which is great. But I think that'll turn around a little bit as well. So like you said, Phil, you start off with your 10 by 5. A lot of people like starting with the smaller coils, and
Yes.
then they've gone over areas. If they're getting some deep targets with that 10 by 5 and you're digging quite good holes, and it's still going a little bit deeper, like you're not hitting bottom or anything like that, that's when you start to go, right, well, maybe there's something right down deeper that the 15-inch will see. So
Absolutely. That's the
yeah.
best way to do it when you're relic hunting. But I think the larger coils will be more seasonal, for beach hunters. When the water warms up,
In the
get better
water.
weather, yeah, then I'll sell more of those. But right now, this time of year in
Mm.
Tampa, we just got a huge demand for the smaller coil, and still some. I've got some seasoned hunters that hunt in the wintertime in the water here, so they put their wetsuits on and do it. So
Okay.
I'll sell quite a few of the 14 by 9s and 15s also.
Well, I
So
just want to quickly say that don't lose faith, people, with this 10 by 5. Keep your orders in with Phil, and don't lose faith that they're never coming, because they are. It's just you just have to appreciate there's a lot of issues with supply and things like that at the moment. And as we were talking off air, Jeff, it's not just the electronics industries and manufacturing industries. It's a lot of industries are suffering with delays and shipping issues. So just keep the faith out there. We'll get those calls over to you so you can get that treasure. It's not going anywhere. There's a piece out there with your name on it, that's for sure.
absolutely. So Trevor, we haven't talked a whole lot about this in the past when we talked to you. How long have you been manufacturing coils at
Um,
Coil-Tek?
So Coil-Tek itself started back in the mid 90s when Minelab was restarting. So Minelab started off in the late 80s and then actually went bankrupt and sort of stopped, and then new owners came in, and Bruce Candy was, the brilliant brain behind it all and started it all up again. And then in the 90s when the metal detectors started to really take off, because Minelab started to work on the pulse induction machines for the gold hunting. They needed some people to build coils for them. And the old owner of Coil-Tek, his name was John Carr, he was involved with the early stages of Minelab when he knew that they were all sitting around kitchen tables and making coils in sheds and things like that back in the day, as new startups do. And he started to build the coils for Minelab back in the mid to early 90s. And then in 1996, he built a factory where we are still here today to build the coils, and was supplying Minelab as the OEM manufacturer. And then I joined the company in 1999 and was helping make Minelab coils, as well as when we started to branch out and make a few other accessory coils under the Coil-Tek brand, which had different sizes and shapes and some different capabilities. And it just sort of took off from there, really. My wife and I, Natalie Michelle's is our CEO here and marketing manager and director. We bought the business out in 2007 and was able to release some extra ranges of coils and products and strengthen the relationship with Minelab to make sure that they understood that we were a friend, not a foe. We weren't trying to compete with them, and we were trying to improve their products to help people find more targets out there. So yeah, we've been going pretty much since 1994, 95. We've been making coils.
Okay, I was just curious about that. And I know you have the relationship with Minelab, because I always people are always asking me, do they make other coils for other manufacturers? But you're strictly Minelab then.
Correct. Yeah. We only make for the Minelab detectors. We did look at other manufacturers, several years ago, but that didn't work out as well as we thought. So yeah, we're just concentrating on this new Minelab brand that they're bringing through the next generation of detectors, CTX, Equinox, and future detectors.
Okay. And then we did have one question on, I guess, on Facebook. Do the coils work with the Vanquish 540? Which
No,
I
we're not making coils for the Vanquish. It's the entry levels detectors, and for us to make a coil, people already know that we're not the cheapest coil around. Manufacturing can be quite expensive because we're not mass producing hundreds of thousands of them. So we've decided to not manufacture for Vanquish, because our price of the coil would be almost the price of the detector. And I think for that range, it's a little bit hard to sort of get the coils in and out of there as well, to make sure that, they do anything different. The Vanquish is set up nicely with the coils that it's got already.
Yeah, they have several sizes for the Vanquish, and that's more of an entry level, which is extremely good entry level detector, because it's multi-frequency, similar to the Equinox, and it'll do nice on the beach. It's just not waterproof, and I think that's what made the Equinox such a top seller. Did you have any idea how many coils you would sell with that Equinox, or did it
Caught
surprise
us off guard completely. Yeah. When my business plan and everything, when I was pitching it to Natalie and we were working things out, we were going, right, let's see if we can get 1,000 parts for the first order. And we tripled that, and that's why there was a lot of delays, because we were just caught completely off guard.
Yeah.
We thought we had everything covered, but we were humbled. It was fantastic. Please don't get me wrong. We're very appreciative of the support and everything out there. It was the biggest release that Coil-Tek's ever done. So
Yeah, because your other coils were for gold prospecting detectors, and they're rather expensive, so you're not going to sell quite as many. Or the CTX, the same thing. but
Yes.
the Equinox series has been for just they're made for a decent price, an excellent detector at a decent price, and I think they're extremely popular. Now, have you seen people in Australia using them for gold prospecting?
Yeah, a little bit. We've got a few people in Victoria that use the 10 by 5 and 14 by 9 for gold prospecting, and we've got some pictures on our website of nuggets with them. So they definitely work for gold prospecting. People are using them mainly in the trashy areas where the old timers were and dropped all their junk and rubbish, and they basically camped on gold. So they're able to get past all that trash because the Equinox is so good for that, and listen for the gold. So definitely good for gold hunting as well. I'm not sure of any or many in the US. I think there's a couple of people out there with 10 by 5s. That would be the one that I would suggest mainly to use for any gold prospecting for sure. But yeah, it's going well.
Yeah, because the detector is capable of gold prospecting. It's got
The 800, yep.
yeah, it's got the 40 kilohertz single frequency if you want that. And I
Yep.
was just curious if people were using them down there or not
Yeah.
for that. There's a few that use them out here in the U.S. for it, but a lot of them will get the higher end Mine Lab detector too for that. But
Yeah, for the purebred gold hunting, and because we export to many different regions around the world. I think the Equinox is very popular through Europe and the Eastern Europe. North America, of course. Australia is not so bad, but because there's so many more regions that do treasure hunting, that's why we've had so much of a popularity with this as well. With our gold hunting, it's primarily Australia and the US. Africa was crazy when that was on board, but that's all but stopped recently because their market has struggled over the last 24 months or so. But with the treasure hunting, it's a bit more global. So our markets were all over the globe rather than just usually US and Australia.
yeah, I just think that those coils are just excellent for the Equinox detector, and it's just made it more popular
Mm,
today because they have so many different size coils that you
yeah.
guys make for it, and
People love options, don't they?
they
You give
really
them
do.
options, they love it. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And just to throw it out here, guys, tomorrow Mind Lab has raised the price on the 800 and the 600. But if you want to get one by the end of the week, you can still get the old price. So just let me know. And of course, you'll get an excellent. You could get an excellent option. Would be the 9 by 14 or the
Mm,
15 inch, and then maybe at the end of March we'll see some of the 10 by 5s. But
yeah.
I've been using that coil, and I just think for that size, that's an excellent coil for anybody wanting to hunt a little bit lighter and also cover some more ground.
Yeah.
So
Super impressed with that coil. We were really happy when that one came out. Jeff.
go ahead, Jeff.
We got a question from Mark Fiorella off YouTube.
Hey, Mark.
He wants to know, when MineLab does an upgrade on the Nox, will the coil still work with a different software upgrade from the Equinox?
Yes, correct. It'll still work. We program the coils to work with any of the MineLab updates. So we have calibration here that updates them. So there's no need to update the coil because once it's plugged in, it's reading, some security device, but it's also reading depth gauges and some target IDs and things like that as well. So there's no need to sort of do any different update or anything like that for the coils, and they will just plug and play. There's still some rumors going around that you need to reset your detector every time you plug in a new coil or with the Coil-Tek, but that's not the case. You can just plug and play. You don't have to do a factory reset when you plug in a new coil.
Mm-hmm. And it was brought to my attention off YouTube, Phil, that when you buy a detector, you also get a calendar.
Oh yes, we make you take a calendar whether you're on it or not.
There you go. You chuck it in there.
We
And
put it
then,
there so you don't lose my name or number. And of course, it's this year
Beautiful
as
Florida pictures.
it's always beautiful Florida beaches. and
Wow.
it even has my wife's hometown of Key West in there. So yeah, it's just a nice calendar. So you're going to get that, and I still have some left, and I'll probably have them till the end of the month. So if you want one, you can get it. Just place an order, and we'll put it in a box with it for sure. So let me keep going down on my questions. Otherwise, I'll get lost here. And it's not quarter of. It's 7:41. We got plenty of time.
Yeah.
And and I just want to remind folks, we do have the 14x9 and the 15 inch and stuff. Oh, one question I have for you, Trevor. Do you have anything else in the pipeline you're working on
Oh, yes. Well,
that you can
new.
talk about?
Yeah. Well, we have released that we are looking at GPX 6000 coils. So Minelab's released the new gold hunting detector last year. So we have let the cat out the bag that we are doing coils for that. We will have more information during this month. So sign up to our mailing list and watch out for our social medias and that when we start to release a bit more information in regards to sizes that we're going to do. But yeah, I can say that we're working on some new coils. We're looking for a mid 2020 release for those. So things are looking really well, really good at the moment with the production prototypes. Then it's just a matter of part supply now. So we're just waiting for a few things to come in line with that. So again, it creates a few issues in that side of things. So we're just trying to line that all up so we can firm up our dates for release. But there will be some new gold coils coming out for the GPX 6000. Those coils won't be compatible with old GPX models, so they will be unique to the GPX 6000, and there'll be complete new coil designs for Coil-Tek. We won't be using any old housings or anything like that. So we're trying to improve some features for that machine because it's quite a sensitive machine. So, and look, going forwards from that, like I said, we've got some really good relationship with Minelab. And we'd like to continue to release coils for any new machines that they bring out as well. So I'm sure going forwards in the years, there'll be more opportunities for us as well.
Awesome. Did you have a question, Jeff?
No, actually, I didn't.
Okay, but it looks like we've got the banner going across, so that answers one of the Facebook questions. They were asking if we're going to do a giveaway tonight.
Of course we are.
We always give something away.
Yeah, when we
give away
advice.
every night. We're always giving away knowledge. Absolutely.
That's right.
So
That's right. We do.
given. We're going to do that.
Yeah, well, we'll chuck something in as well. I know we didn't talk about it beforehand, but usually we have something to give away to the happy people out there. So, if you guys, we can do a Coil-Tek gift bag, goodie bag for them.
Oh,
so,
sure.
If you guys want to pick someone at random or,
We got the names right here.
Jeff always does that ahead of time. So he's got some names. If they're here, they'll get it. If not, we'll go to the next name. I did want to ask you now, when you send these coils, do you send them by ship?
No, everything's sent by DHL Express for international. So it's all air freight at the moment.
Okay.
The size of shipments that we do are not huge container size shipments.
Okay.
They're usually, several boxes worth that can be handled okay. So we do everything DHL Express because we've found that they've been the most competent at the moment, especially during these difficult times.
Yes.
A lot of the smaller freight places and stuff are struggling to get space on the planes. And so freight's definitely a concern because we've had huge increases on that side. But at least we can get product over pretty confidently. So they've been the best ones at the moment.
Right. And it's fast and it's not going through any canals or get stuck or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And more planes are flying now because, we're seeing that more and more countries are taking international flights and doing that. So we're seeing more of those birds in the sky flying around with funny noises. So, there should be some more space coming up. Hopefully in the next couple of, who knows how long this is going to last. But, some of the freight increases have been astronomical. It's just insane.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I've talked to you earlier, and I talked to the folks here tonight that MindLab has done a price increase, and hopefully you won't have to do one, but we would understand why you would have to do it if the freight keeps going up like that.
At the moment, we're pretty good. We did a price increase in September, October for all our product range, but it was only sort of some of the products went up 3%, others went up to 10%, depending on the factors that were involved. But at this stage, we can hold our prices for the foreseeable future. And usually we do a yearly review anyway, around July. So.
Okay,
Buy
so
your
we give
coil
some stuff
before
away,
July.
Phil?
Go
What's
ahead.
that?
Jeff. I said buy your coil before July.
That's
Yeah,
right.
there you go. We'll get some coils
Oh.
over there first.
Absolutely. So
Our
go ahead.
giveaways for tonight. It's just a plethora of giveaways. Trevor's kicked in a Coil-Tek gift package, and we'll get to that too. But what we have tonight, as you all well know, that you had to enter on YouTube and on Facebook with a certain phrase. And that phrase was get your CKG products from Myers Metal Detectors, because they're always in stock at Myers. And we had CKG Products has donated for tonight's giveaway a carbon fiber detector shaft for the MindLab 600 or 800. So I've got the names for that. Dan Nelson from Dan's Lanyard is also giving away a nice bottle of pure Vermont maple syrup. Phil can't win it as much as he wants it. He can't win it.
I wanted that one.
I
like
know he
maple
wants
syrup.
it bad. I'll get you a bottle of syrup, Phil. And he's got a keychain, a Dan's Lanyard keychain with that syrup. And then we have the Coil-Tek gift package from Trevor. So,
Sweet.
and here's how it works. Y'all know what you have to do. Get your fingers ready, because once your name is called, you got 3 minutes. And I'm going to do 3 different names. You've got 3 minutes to text or Facebook Messenger Phil or myself at the number scrolling across the bottom of the screen. If you don't make it within 3 minutes, we move on to somebody else.
Get your
I've
fingers
got all
ready.
these drawn. So get ready, because it is at okay, at 7:51, your time will be up. So for the CKG carbon fiber Equinox shaft, T.A. Calhoun, if you are in the house, you have won. For the maple syrup and the keychain, we got the 717 detector. And for the wonderful gift package from Trevor, we have Harley Brown. So you got 3 minutes, guys.
Good luck,
Get the
people.
fingers flying, text or messenger.
And Harley's, well, I know him. He's way down south of me. So
Okay, Tia Calhoun is here. They got the carbon fiber shaft for MindLab Equinox.
Congratulations. Well done.
nice.
That's a nice prize.
Yeah, that's a ripper.
That's a ripper.
Ripper. Hey, what's a ripper, mate?
That's quite the ripper.
You guys are getting more Aussie every time I talk to you. It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
We do our best.
Yeah. Well, what would you say in Florida and the US then if something was really good? You know, instead of ripper, would you guys have a saying, or would you just say that's fantastic?
Actually, it's pretty much holy crap.
Yeah.
You don't want to say it on air. This is a family show.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. So ripper. Let's stick with ripper.
Yeah, ripper is good. That's our new craze. It's a ripper.
It's a ripper.
Yeah. And usually it's spelt with an A on the end. RIPPA. Ripper.
Ripper.
Yeah, ripper.
Yeah, I've been watching too much Australian TV because I learned a lot of words I never heard before. Like
There's a really good book that we actually got one at home. I don't know why we have got it, because we're Australian, but it's the Australian slang book. If I find one at all out there, I'll get you one over, and then you can drop a comment here and there. It's like a dictionary.
Why McDonald's is Macca's?
Yeah, we shorten everything here. So
Mac-
Darren's Dazza and Sharon's Shazza, and we just shorten everything, give everything a bit of a nickname, and put an A on the end of it. And that sounds pretty good.
And you call the females, you call them Sheilas, right?
Sheilas, yeah. More in the outback. Sometimes if you pick the wrong Sheila, she'll slap you. So you got to be careful who you say
Yeah,
Sheila
that's
to.
well, that's always good. That's always good, you know, not to get slapped by any stretch of the imagination.
I know.
But you know,
But yeah, the true Aussies will still talk the Sheilas and the blokes, you know.
So while we're waiting for the other, I guess we're still waiting for the other two to
yeah.
text in or message us. Let's talk about the which we haven't talked about much, the CTX coils.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
you have two sizes for that.
Yeah, we have a 10x5 solid coil, so it's a bit different to the Nox, where the Nox is what we call an open web. This one's a solid coil, and it's, you know, we pour epoxy in there to make it waterproof, so it can go in the water with the Equinox. And the 14x9 we also make for the CTX, which is exactly the same mold as it looks for the Nox coils. So we use the same mold, but just with some different internals. So yeah, they're not as popular as the Nox. The CTX being a little bit higher cost and a little bit more specific. I mean, it's still a fantastic machine. It is the Rolls Royce of the treasure hunters. But you know, certainly really good coils. We still sell quite a few of those per year, and people enjoy the performance. That's for sure. Just again, it just gives you another tool in the kit, so you can try and look for different targets over similar ground.
Yeah, I have both of those in stock too, and they don't sell as of course as fast as the Equinox, because they're not as popular detector, but they're extremely good detector, extremely deep, and I find it's more accurate. So a lot of beach hunters are still using those because
correct.
They are more accurate, deeper, and I think that's the two number system that they use. I think just makes them a little bit more accurate.
Yes, Well, you got that sort of, was it ferrous and conductivity? I think it is with the two numbers, so you can be a little bit more accurate and definitive. You know, whereas the Equinox will still have a bit of overlap with some numbers.
Right.
You know, so this would be a lot more definitive and precise.
Absolutely. So if you're looking for one of those coils for the CTX, we do have both of those in stock now. The 10x5 being solid, had you ever thought of making it like the 10x5 open?
Well, we did that one first, so we never had the mold for the thing, because the 10x5 for the Nox coil is completely new design for us. So we never had the molding back when we first did it, and you know, the numbers weren't there to really justify to get the molding done, because we went to injection molding for the new Nox coils. And so, you know, we may look at it, but I think, you know, the CTX coils, because there's the popularity and the quantities aren't there as much, we may not sort of, you know, go on that sort of pathway.
Okay.
How'd we go, Jeff? Did we get anyone call in?
Not yet. They missed it. So Rick Landaker, if you are watching, you have some maple syrup and a great keychain. And Ann Dwyer, you have a Coil-Tek gift package. You got 3 minutes, people. Let's get her done.
Clock is ticking.
Yes.
Good luck, everyone.
Get it quick.
No, that's good. What's so one for you, Phil? What's your favorite find with one of the Nox coils so far? Have you got a favorite? And Jeff, you guys got any favorites there that you can share, and maybe send us a photo and we'll promote it on our site too? So
I don't have any favorite finds yet. I've been hunting a couple lots with it. I've got some old, I guess I got some silver Roosevelt with it and a silver quarter, but I haven't had it. Like I said, I just got mine because I kept selling everybody's, and finally I kept one. And I've dug a bunch of coins with it. I mean, the two lots I'm hunting where houses were on there in the 1890s. And they just dozed them because they're going to put new houses on it. Jeff, I guess we're getting questions on the winners again. Could you announce them real quick?
Okay, the 717 detector, he did, but I didn't know his name. So that one's done. We're just waiting on Landaker or Ann Dwyer to call in for the gift box. So from Trevor.
Yeah, we have what the prize was the Dan's lanyard and the Coil-Tek.
Yes, the Dan's lanyard
Is
and the
that
maple syrup go to the 717 detector.
okay?
Okay, he was within the time limit. I just didn't realize what his name was. And the shaft, we already know that they were there. Now they got to do the email. That's the only way you get your gift.
So when you text in, I guess they got to make sure they put the name on it because we don't know who you are when you say you're here.
That's right. And, if you're using your YouTube channel, you got to say who your YouTube channel is. Now, the only way you get your prize is you've got to email. We don't accept texts, messengers, anything. You email treasuretalkshow@gmail.com with your info, and that's how you're going to get your prize. So we're waiting now. Actually, the time I think is up.
All right. Well, let's next name. And
Okay.
this time it's just Trevor's door prize, right?
Yeah, the Coil-Tek gift pack. We'll have a hat and some labels and some
Nice.
like a little tote bag and things like that, which is always good to put your coils and other things in. So
Yep. So we've got another name, and we are going to go with JBP Hobbyist.
JBP.
hobbyist.
You are in the chat. You know what to do. Text or messenger, and then
Everyone
email.
loves a free prize.
That's right.
So anyway, getting back to my favorite find with the Coil-Tek coil. With my CTX, I found a lot of jewelry with the coil there. But with the new one, I just have dug a bunch of coins that most of them aren't old. Sometimes I wonder, do people just throw their money in the yard or something? What's the deal that you could dig? And most of it is from the 70s to date. I'm looking for the older ones, but I got to get rid of all the new ones that are laying on top of the ground first before I can go deep. So give me another month and I'll have some really nice finds with it.
Next show.
haven't had a chance to use it that much because I've been
basically what I did with my Coil-Tek coils. They were in such demand, and Phil was getting beat up pretty bad because he didn't have them. I just said, Phil, sell my coils and I'll get them later when you get a bunch of them back in. So I'm kind of on the waiting list right now.
We'll see if we can fast track that for you. You guys are doing a great job with your show, and lots of good promotions and lots of good information too. People are thirsty for information. You guys are providing it. It's great. That's
absolutely true, and that's one of the that's the purpose really, is to educate people on metal detecting and treasure hunting. And that's why we're fortunate that you come on the show with us today, because other ways that people can get information is like they join a metal detecting club, and actually I'm a member of 2 or 3 different clubs, and one of them meets in 2 weeks here in Tampa, the West State Archaeological Society, and then there's one across the bay that meets, the Suncoast Research and Recovery Club. Unfortunately for me, now they meet on Monday nights, so I don't get to go as often as I used to, because I would always be there every month, but now we've got the show. So, but for people who don't have a club, I think forums like this are an excellent way for people to get knowledge on the metal detecting and treasure hunting hobby.
That's right. So all the winners tonight, you know what you have to do. You have to email to treasuretalkshow@gmail.com all your info, so we can get. And if I think, there's no shirt in that package, is there, Trevor?
I'll see what we've got. At the moment, it's mainly just a hat and bag and some other items like a little cooler and things like that. I'll see if we've got some
need to worry about the shirt. I was just asking, so if they needed to include a size, So you email that to me, I can forward it on to the people that have donated the prizes, to CKG Scoops, to Dan's Lanyards, and to Trevor, and that will expedite you getting your prize.
Absolutely. I'll just do if you don't mind, a quick plug for our new website. If people haven't checked it out, checked it out yet, coiltek.com.au. Go check it out. We've refreshed that late last year. Our marketing team and Natalie done a great job getting all of that refresh with some great new images. We've got tech talk, tech tips, different things that people can look at, a bit more information on there as well. They can check out all the coils. There's a lot of information about the coils and plenty of little blogs and latest discoveries. So we do run a monthly competition where people can submit a story with a Coil-Tek find. And then they go in the running to win a new Coil-Tek coil. So they submit a nice find and a bit of a story. We've got all the previous winners on our website, so you can check that out. And we've also got a where to buy section with Myers Metal Detector in the American section there. So you can just look at wherever you are. You can check out where your nearest dealer is that's authorized. So check out our new website.
Yeah, we need to have her put a post on Treasure Talk. I think y'all are joined Treasure Talk on Facebook.
Yes.
And put a post up there with that. I will share it to all of our Facebook pages and our 2 YouTube channels and Twitter, and and all that, where everybody can get in on that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, getting the latest discoveries is great. We tend to get around 5 to 10 entries each month, and some of them are fantastic. We do recommend you put a little bit of a descriptive story in there, not just I found a coin on this day with my coil. They're in the running, of course, but put a little bit of a story in there because they will get published into our Facebook, put live on our website as well. And we send out a coil prize, so you can be in the running for a GPX coil, the old style GPX coils. Sometimes we have Nox coils up for grabs, CTX coils. So, we do offer that. So you can check out the prize and previous stories.
Awesome.
That's great. That is great, great, great.
Well, Jeff, I think we're getting to that time, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. We are indeed. I tell you what, the hour flies by.
It does.
I mean,
make a 2-hour show, maybe.
I don't think Phil's up for that.
Getting a bit late.
And I don't think Jocelyn's up for it either. Which
No,
I do.
Phil would be
a bit of work. You guys do a great job. All the work.
At me or something.
Yeah, no, you guys do real good.
Yeah, rocks, because we got to go ahead and make dinner tonight. So I wanted to thank you, Trevor, for coming on here and talking about Coil-Tek and giving us an update on when we're going to get some 10x5. So that's awesome. I'll be looking for them. I'll be calling Robert, the distributor, and saying, hey, Trevor, promise me first.
And there you go. Yeah, I don't say that. I'm in trouble. No, we'll definitely do what we can for sure. And it's looking like mid to late March.
Yeah, we appreciate you. Believe me.
Thank you.
And I want to say thank you to you, and thank you, of course, to Jocelyn, and thank you to Jeff. And the hour went quick, and it's been fun for sure.
Yeah, indeed. And Trevor, you're always a great guest. We love having you. The people love you because you talk straight to them. You give them good information. And I know you got a lot of stuff coming, that you're working on. And so I will be in contact to get you booked for early fall again for another update.
Yep. And keep the prize pack going. If someone hasn't been able to tune in and win the prize pack or anything, just keep it going. Then you just choose someone, and we'll happily get it out there. Just get us the name.
We got it. They got up to me. So you'll be getting an email with their information tomorrow. And awesome. We want to thank you for taking time out of your busy day, because I know it's quite tense, with everything that's going on in the world right now. So we thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
And thank CKG Scoops for providing a great giveaway with a carbon fiber handle for the MyLab 600 or 800. And also Dan's lanyard. He makes a fantastic product for the Vermont maple syrup, and which I'll order you some maple syrup from Dan, Phil. I promise you.
Okay.
That sounds good.
We'll get all that, and we'll be good to go. So we
see if it ships to Australia as well. I'll take some of that for my pancakes for sure.
He probably would. He probably would.
It sounds delicious. Well, thanks, team. You guys do a great job. Jocelyn behind the scenes and a new team. You guys do a fantastic job all the time. I really appreciate you having me on.
Jocelyn says thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. It's been a ripper.
It has been a ripper.
It's been a
It's been a
ripper,
ripper.
mate.
So, everybody, happy hunting and dig deeper and stay safe out there.
Absolutely. We'll see you guys.
See ya.